Hi everyone, it's I'm Here with Magazine, and we are here with the amazing Joe Norman Shaw. He's one of the most important people to come out of Canada that's an artist. He influences countless people in the industry from Toronto all the way to Vancouver with his Rogues Actor Studio. 26 years in the making for making other people the artists that they're trying to be, and also in his own right, a working actor in Alberta especially. Hi, welcome Joe.
Hi Joe.
From working with you in past issues with Eugene, when we chose you guys last 2 years ago to come do the photo shoot with Kevin Stenhouse, there is not a person in Alberta that does not know the name Joe Norman Shaw. The name that you've built for yourself and company of Rogues has been influential to every single person that researches how to get into acting. Our cinematographer had mentioned that for himself, even getting into the industry, he knew the name Rogues Theatre Company before he even stepped foot into a theater or anything. So how does that make you feel?
Well, thank you. That's very flattering. I think that being in the arts is sometimes a kind of a journey of attrition because we've been at it a long time. I mean, I started back in Toronto in 1981, working mostly in the theater and places like Stratford and Shaw, and doing some relatively important theater in Toronto, like As Is, first play about AIDS, and Unidentified Human Remains, the Brad Fraser play that kind of put him on the map. And ended up out in the West, Vancouver first, teaching and acting more in film and television, but then in Alberta for 26 years now. I've been in Alberta, and surprisingly, I think people will find most of the film credits, as well as many theater credits, that I've been able to work on amazing film and TV projects out of the province of Alberta. Plus Company of Rogues, which has been going in Calgary since 1996. So we've been probably trained maybe 5,000 actors over the years between Company of Rogues in Calgary, as well as now Rogueswest, which we have in Vancouver for the last half a dozen years too.
So the Vancouver West location in Alberta, it's the same branding, but different teachers.
Well, Christian Hurt and I founded Company of Rogues first in Vancouver. We had it for a brief time here, then we ended up in Alberta. And then the Alberta studio has been running in Calgary for all those years, 25, 26 years now. And so we started it together. I'm currently running the Calgary studio. Christiane runs the one here in Vancouver, but we are sister studios. Our philosophy, our level of experience, and in terms of training actors, as well as the work that we've done in the industry, is what gives us the kind of foundation from which we can teach, mentor, and train actors in both cities.
Yes, you guys are quite famous in the West, especially in Canada. Speaking about passing the torch, your daughter Sophia is now teaching in Van for Rogues. Did you ever think that when you started this company with Christiane that you would be inspiring your own family to pass the torch, say you will?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not surprised with her in terms of the acting, because she was always a very artistic, creative. From the time she was a child, she sings, she paints, acts. Like, she's always been involved in the arts in various ways over the years. But then, she spent 3 years working at Company of Rogues as an actor, training as an actor to prepare herself for the craft, and has done very well. And has, you're going to meet her in a little while here, and she'll tell you a little bit more about her credit. But I think that, yes, the surprise may be that now that she's getting a little bit more mature, that she has started to teach as well at the Rogueswest studio, and has become a really popular teacher and noted for her ability to really inspire and motivate young actors.
That's so important, because as any artist watching this interview, it's so hard to know, how is it I get to a level like Sophia or Joe? Like, how do I get there? That question sometimes stops people's dream, and it's really important that people realize that there are answers. There are people that are supporting the creative arts, trying to help people achieve their dream. And everything that you guys have gone through just to create your business and keep it alive. I kind of joked earlier that a family that plays together stays together, because it's theater. I thought that was funny. And and I thought that, isn't that so true though? The drive that you all three have to inspire others to keep the business going within being artists yourself, that's what makes people really believe in you. More than just that you're famous on TV. It's more about the art behind it, that you guys made it yourselves as artists, and now you're giving back and giving the realisticness of how to live their dreams and train and work on their craft. It's so important. Let's get back into the roots of when you first even started. Like, there has to be that story that you never thought you're going to be an actor, or how you even got into it, and like the first opportunity that actually got you to acting. Let's talk about it.
Well, I mean, if you want to go back to the early days, I mean, I was like any kid. I was always acting at home, pretending and playing to be all sorts of things. And I saw a play at the junior high school, and when I went to junior high, I started taking what was called speech at that point. But there was plays to audition for, and I ended up starting to do plays in junior high and all the way through high school. Took drama, and like I got to the end of high school, and my parents were like, "Well, what do you should go to university and take something." I'm like, "Yeah, I was thinking I might like to study drama." Like, convinced them that I was going to be a high school drama teacher. That was my goal.
Okay.
Not that my parents were always like supportive of us doing what was passionate in us. And I went to the University of Guelph, which was a really intimate but very comprehensive program, drama program in the mid-70s. And I was there maybe a couple of weeks, and somebody, an actress in my class, gave me a copy of Bruce Springsteen's Born to Run album. And I played that album all weekend. And by the end of the weekend, I said, I can live my dreams. I can do what it is I want to do and be passionate about, which was to be an actor. And at that moment, that changed my life. But the thing that you were mentioning, I mean, the thing that holds Rogues together with both, first with Christiane and I, and that Sophia has now embraced, because she's been born into it, is we love the art of acting. And we have all worked really, really hard on our craft, training and studying, and being involved in a variety of experiences over the years, be they theater and film and television, and have always been dedicated to the evolution of ourselves as creative artists, as actors. You know, Christiane also writes. We're all eclectically creative, and we feel like, you know, when we're working with actors and training actors, we try to inspire the creativity in others, because from that, good things will always come.
Good things do come. You know, no one talks too much about the struggle about how to be a working actor. I don't think Alberta has enough full-time working actors. It's not quite a thing even now. What do you really want to say to people who say, I want to be on TV and actor? Is there any advice that you want to say to them, but like more realistic advice?
Well, I think that first of all, you should pursue acting because you love acting, not to be famous. You might become famous in that journey, but if you really love the art of acting, you love the preparation it requires to bring a role to life. You love being on the stage or in front of the camera and being able to create a character through you, and connect and collaborate with your fellow actors and the crew members, and bring a project to life. If that juices you, if that makes you passionate, then that's the reason to begin the journey. And so the outcome later, you know, whether you become famous or not, is not the focus. The focus is on the moment. The focus is on doing the work and loving the work and learning and growing through that experience. And you can never predict where that's going to take somebody, but it's going to take you someplace good because it's your passion and you're following your passion, and that can only lead you to the path that you're meant to follow.
That's so beautiful. I hope people listen to those words, because from your experience, you lived it. So that's why you're able to share it so authentically.
And still living it.
And you're still going.
Still
you
going
ain't going
after
nowhere.
all these years.
And you're looking better than ever.
Oh, thank you.
I also want to get into, you have worked with some of the most famous people in the world on the projects you've worked with, like, you know, over 60 credits just on IMDb, and that's not even all your theater stuff. Let's dive into all that awesomeness of getting to work on such high-end projects that mean something to people, and what kind of characters you've loved to play. Let's get into it.
Well, interestingly, I have to say a lot of my favorite projects have actually been Canadian projects, like Crazy Canucks, which we shot in Austria for CTV, or CBC miniseries Everest. I end up playing a lot of coaches for some reason. I was a ski coach. I was kind of the leader of the base camp in Everest. I've had other roles like that. But over the years, I have been fortunate to work with some pretty cool people. James Brolin in Children of Fortune. James Brolin, who's married to Barbara Streisand and Josh's father. I got punched out by James in the movie, which was really cool.
I bet you loved it.
Yeah, he was fantastic to work with. Jim. Tom Skerritt, who you might remember from shows like Picket Fences, and Mary McDonald, who played Kevin Costner's love interest in Dances with Wolves. Many people over the years, like just really wonderful actors that I've had the good fortune to work with. Danny Trejo, most recently in
his documentary.
No, we shot Dead Again in Tombstone in
Yeah.
Calgary, and I got to play a sheriff and had a really great scene with him, which was, you know, he's like the bad guy coming to town, and
I saw it.
The door opens and there he is, sheriff. Look what the wind blew in. It's like it was really fun to work with. It was a really textured kind of scene that we got to play together, very moody, and he was just a great guy. Just loves being on set. I've often actually found some of the most talented people are usually some of the kindest, most supportive, and most compassionate people along the way. And you know what I always say to young actors is, some of my best advice is, be grateful to be on set, be humble, say thank you to everyone, be a team player, collaborate, be supportive, and you will begin to immerse yourself in the community from which you want to be a part of. Because we all work together when we do this stuff, and that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it exciting, is how we share creating things together.
We see that in you. I'm Here With sees Joe Norman Shaw's passion. And I do see as well that you want this industry, especially within Alberta, to keep going. And you're one of those people that are actively doing things to keep the industry alive and connecting people, and all the people that you're helping and giving a chance to. It's a big deal, Joe. So that's why we wanted to interview you today and your family and talk about how important Rogues is to the Canadian industry of film and TV and theater. And it's been a pleasure to be able to pick your brain on a few things.
Well, it's been a pleasure to be able to talk about the things I'm most passionate about, so I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.